guys, this is DJ Themi and I'm back with a new video. Today we're going to take a look at some history here. Pretty interesting stuff here regarding Black Wall Street in Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So just a brief overview before we get into the video actually. It's really interesting. People really need to know about this. I actually had the honor of working on this documentary as one of the composers, part of the team of composers for this documentary, which aired on TV1 back in 2019. Definitely one of the proudest moments in my music career because I've never composed music for film or TV, which was pretty interesting. Back in 1921, there was actually a race massacre in Tulsa. Hundreds of homes and businesses were burnt to the ground. At the time, this was the only place that this happened in the United States. Hundreds of homes and businesses were burnt to the ground. This at the time was the only place in the United States that had been bombed from the air. The African community across the country was being assailed and attacked. Mob violence, lynchings, the urban riots, all this was part and parcel of a very, very terrible period in the African American history. It was a domestic terrorist attack because of the jealousy of the prosperity within the Black community. The people that lived in this community, Black Wall Street, they were actually upper middle class people. This was in Greenwood. Everyone doesn't know it, but it's kind of known as Black Wall Street. There was a black majority of people who had all businesses, they had churches, restaurants, everything you could think of. All right, let's get into the video. Thanks for watching, people.
Tried to ignore its past, tried to ignore the 1921 race massacre. There was a mass slaughter of Black folks. Hundreds of homes and businesses were burnt to the ground. This, at that time, was the only place in the United States that had ever been bombed from the air.
The African-American community across the country is being assailed and attacked. Mob violence, lynchings, the urban riots, all of this was part and parcel of a very, very terrible period in African-American history.
It was a domestic terrorist attack because of the jealousy of the prosperity within the Black community. The people who lived here were upper middle class people.
Greenwood, if one doesn't know, is better known as Black Wall Street. It was a black majority of people who owned businesses. They had churches, restaurants, everything you could think of.
The spirit to me of Black Wall Street, I can't tell you. It's just a place that you have to visit to understand it. I saw the fires, the riots. I couldn't believe all that happened in Tulsa. And our young people, they need to know what Wall Street means. We need to know what Wall Street means. So that way, that's not stuff that's repeated.
As we approach the centennial commemoration of the 1921 race massacre, all one would need to do is to look at the news and look at the comments, the public comments, to see what the racial tensions are. Everything we try to implement that will improve the quality of life for African Americans in this city is met with a fight. One of the things I say constantly is we've had to fight for everything we've received since we got off the boat, and that has not changed.
I keep hearing about the word reconciliation, and I'm like, wait a minute, that means restoring friendly relations, which presupposes that we've created them. And I don't know a point in our history when we've ever done it. There is no racial reconciliation in the context of Tulsa. It's an oxymoron.
The city overall often feels like it's in a state of denial. We're not in a place where anyone wants to admit responsibility for the disparities that continue to happen today. I think of Black Wall Street as critical to survival and critical to our ability to thrive. The most disturbing thing about moving through the postcards and the pictures was this feeling that history is repeating itself, and that's kind of the elephant in the room that no one wants to name.
As hard as we are on ourselves and each other, we have to take a moment to step back and say, man, we're doing it. We have a lot to be proud of. But there are brothers and sisters to our right and to our left that may not be doing as well as us. And it's our job to bring them up and bring them with us.
What does legacy mean to you?
Yes. Legacy. is life contribution beyond the life that you live.
Legacy is critical to survival.
Legacy means the transfer of accomplishments, achievements from one generation to another.
Legacy for me means standing on something.
Taking all that hard work that our ancestors did and building on that.
Legacy to me means life after. What's left behind when you're no longer physically here.
You don't see the seed in the ground, but you water it every day. Sun hits it.
Even though I will never bear the fruit of the foundation that we are building, I want it to start with me. I want it to start with us.